I was really hoping not to make this video. I actually had a completely different video, bullet pointed out, talking about the franchise-changing move the Toronto Blue Jays were going to make. But today, we're going to be saying congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers. And this move for the Dodgers, pairing Ohtani now with Betts and Freddie Freeman as like your big trio, that is an insanely powerhouse lineup. Flags fly forever, and if the Dodgers raise one or two banners for championships, not a single person is going to bat an eye when Shohei Ohtani getting paid $70 million a season is, 38 years old, can't pitch, and is a struggling DH in this league. Again, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I hope Shohei defies everything and goes strong until his age 40 season. As a Jays fan, we were potentially going to be having him for that long, and that is the hope you have. Although a lot of these times, these mega deals typically don't end well on the latter half, more often than not. But with Shohei, like, everyone's hoping for these prime years to win the chip. You win the championship, it makes that back half way more palatable. I can't help but wonder if the bidding for Shohei between the Jays, the Dodgers, the Giants, the Cubs was kind of down to the last couple days, because 10 years, $700 million is an insane amount of money considering MLB trade rumors, which is pretty good with their predictions and stuff like that. They had predicted Shohei at 12 years, $528 million. It got up to 10 years, $700 million. So I can't help but wonder if all the Jays hoopla and all the drama that went on, the Dodgers realized they were in some serious bidding, and the Dodgers had set themselves up for a year plus of planning that Shohei was coming to town. They could not let him go, and they went to a number that I wonder if other organizations were not willing to. So congrats to the Dodgers again. And, I'd love to see, one of these big name superstars not sign with the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Red Sox. And, have some, it doesn't even, not even that it's, I know obviously I want Toronto, but have another team get a shot at a superstar. Can you imagine Ohtani on the Orioles, that young nucleus? He would have been the star to take him over the top. Whereas with the Dodgers, it's kind of like that Kevin Durant to Golden State move. Yeah, you're joining a team already full of stars, a team that's already won the championship recently, a team that's full of success, and you're just there to, you're not riding their coattails, because you could obviously say that Shohei is the best player on the team now, but he's going to a situation where he's going to be able to win, and he's going to be able to win consistently. So, good on him. But let's flip it over to the Jays here, and it's got to sting for the Blue Jays. For one, the biggest free agents, signed in, just in Toronto sports. You can say Roger Clemens, John Tavares, Gosman Springer. They have been able to sign those stars, but they haven't been able to really sign that transcendent player. And again, there's not many of them, right? There's not a lot of opportunity of them. And when you're bidding against a team with which seems like endless, bottomless pockets and beautiful weather, and you're closer to your hometown or closer to your home country in Japan, it's very hard to another team to persuade them, especially when you're in the north and you're kind of not necessarily in the middle of the country, but you're East Coast. The best example is Kawhi. Kawhi got the full Toronto experience. He got the ravenous fans. He won the chip. He got Kawhi and dine. Toronto did everything in their power to sign Kawhi when he became a free agent. And it wasn't greater than the urge and want for him to be closer to home. He'd always want to be in LA. And you could argue with Shohei being closer to Japan might be one of those huge factors for him. Saying that, you'd figure the least would be able to sign every Ontario-born hockey superstar, but that's not the case either. Yeah, we got Tavares, but, Gretzky didn't come home. Stamkos didn't come home. It's a very tricky thing doing these pitches. And, that kind of leads us to Ross Atkins and Mark Shapiro. I feel like waiting for Ohtani. Again, we don't know what happened behind the scenes, but I feel like Juan Soto is gone because we chose to wait. I'm assuming two of them were never really an option, even though fans, heard one rumor, heard two rumors, and thought, they both could happen. So we wait out and we lose on Soto. And now we're left holding the bag with Ohtani. Was it a miscalculation on the Jays? Or do you feel some sort of positive that, hey, they were in it. They were seriously in it to the end. And at the end of the day, it takes two to dance, and Shohei decided to dance in LA. Now, say we weren't willing to go to $700 million. Say we were willing to go to $600. Say that's what Rogers authorized. Is that money now can be spent on other free agents, or was that just for Ohtani? I think I read a report somewhere that, Rogers viewed Ohtani as that special case, that transcendent player, because of all the extra revenue he'd bring in through, all the off-field stuff. And I get it. But yeah, you lack the international Japan angle of it, but you could still make the Jays hella profitable by going out there and spending that money elsewhere, right? I don't want to say it looks like we should have to settle for Cody Bellinger, but, MLB trade rumors had him predicted at 12 years, $264 million. That seems like quite the discount compared to what the Dodgers just paid. The Dodgers aren't even getting a pitcher for that year, so they're basically just paying a DH, where at least Bellinger can play the outfield at a very, very respectable, rate. They predicted him going to the Yankees or the Giants. I think you could scratch the Yankees off that list now with Verdugo and Soto in town. I believe he's a Scott Boras is his agent, so he fits a hole. Right now, our outfield's looking pretty slim. So, Cody's available. We haven't heard the Jays interested in Yamamoto, but by all accounts, he's going to be an absolute sensation. Do we need a pitcher? Not necessarily. It's currently our strength, but you sign him and he's every bit as advertised and becomes the ace, and you knock everyone down a peg. You're looking at a quite the rotation. So if you keep those runs off the board and then you bounce on a Vladdy, kind of a bounce back season from not only Vladdy, but for the offense in general. Remember, this Jays offense was supposed to be one of the tops in the majors going into last season. They just flat out underperformed. So maybe there's some, regression towards the positive sitting there. Number 7 on trade rumors list is Matt Chapman. So now that we got a glaring hole at third now, we were going to kind of have one if we signed Ohtani anyway, but we'd probably handle that in-house, I would imagine, to make the money work. But I don't know. Do we welcome back Matt Chapman? Decent power, great defense, but that's kind of all you're getting from him. But is that better than sticking Davis Schneider over there? Giving Martinez a shot? What about Barger? Do you roll with one of the young guys and hope you got something and spend the money elsewhere in the lineup? Or do you maybe bring back Chapman? There's a lot of work now the Jays got to do. The proverbial floodgates of signings should start to speed up now that the big fish is off the market. Atkins has talked about wanting to make a move for a premier player. With Ohtani off the list, it'll be very interesting to see where Atkins and Shapiro pivot to, because at the end of the day, for all we know, they made the greatest pitch imaginable and thought they were in it, and they may have well been in it to the very end. I think fans are obviously going to feel really let down that the two big names are already gone, and I don't want them to say emergency panic just to sign someone for signing someone, but I would imagine all their eggs weren't in that one basket, and they've done their work, and there is a solid plan B and plan C that they can do to take this team to the next level, and willing to spend some more of Rogers' money. So lessons learned through all this, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I was fooled by the whole plane tracker, the sushi reservations. I said I wasn't going to get caught up in it. I got caught up in it. I told 7 people at my child's bus stop, and now I have to look them all in the eye come Monday to tell them, yeah, it didn't happen. Or for them to tell me, you told me Shohei was coming to town. He was on the plane. I fell for it with Kawhi, and I fell for it again. So Twitter airplane tracking, I will never give that any credibility of anything serious until I see a press conference with said free agent wearing our jersey. But let me know, did you get caught up in the hoopla? Are you disappointed? And where do you think the Jays go from now? Peace out, everyone. We'll see you all in the next one.